Scientists just pulled a creature from the ocean floor with legs that stretch wider than your entire living room, and it was still alive. Off the coast of Japan, something with claws the length of a car door has been crawling in total darkness for 100 years, and we had no idea how big it actually gets. But that creature doesn't even crack the top 5 on this list. Join us, and let's discover the giants that are rewriting everything we thought we knew about animal size. Let's go!
Number 12. Goliath beetle. In 2003, an entomologist in Cameroon caught a beetle that didn't fit inside a standard insect collection box. It weighed 115 grams, about the same as a mid-sized mouse, with a body 11.5 centimeters long and wings spanning 13 centimeters when fully open. The Goliath beetle is the heaviest insect on Earth, and it looks like a 6-legged armored tank. But the adult is not even the most extreme phase of this animal's life. Its larva weighs up to 140 grams, heavier than the adult, and spends 3 full years buried inside rotting tropical hardwood, consuming 1,000 times its own body weight in decomposing material before it even thinks about pupating. The adult male carries a Y-shaped horn on its thorax used exclusively for combat. A strike from this horn is powerful enough to knock a rival clean off a branch from a meter up. The impact when it hits the ground is audible. When it flies, the Goliath beetle sounds like a small drone. Its wings beat up to 200 times per second, generating a hum detectable from 20 meters away. It reaches only about 10 kilometers per hour in the air and frequently collides with obstacles. But for an insect this massive, the simple fact that it achieves flight at all is a biomechanical miracle that aerospace engineers have studied and still haven't fully explained. African tribes have used Goliath beetles as talismans for centuries. The chitin shell of a dead specimen is so hard it withstands a direct hammer strike without cracking. After death, the shell holds its perfect shape for decades without any chemical treatment. Collectors pay up to $500 for a single living pair. If the world's heaviest insect left you impressed, what comes next doesn't crawl through wood. It hangs from trees in colonies of 10,000 and carries viruses that kill 90% of the people they infect.
Number 11. Golden-crowned flying fox. In 2016, tourists in the Philippines filmed something hanging from a tree branch that stopped the internet cold. Its wingspan was nearly 2 meters. Its body was the size of a small dog. Thousands of people immediately called the video fake. It was not. The golden-crowned flying fox is the largest bat on Earth, and it looks like something assembled from a nightmare. Adults weigh 1.5 kilograms, with wingspans reaching 170 centimeters. Its face is elongated like a fox, large amber eyes, pointed ears, a long narrow snout, but instead of forelimbs, it has membranous wings stretched between finger bones that are longer than your hand. Its hind claws grip branches with such mechanical force that a dead specimen literally cannot be removed from a tree without destroying the feet. During the day, these animals hang in colonies from forest canopy, wrapping themselves in their wings like living cloaks. A single colony holds up to 10,000 individuals. At sunset, the entire colony takes flight simultaneously. The sky darkens with thousands of wings, and the air fills with high-pitched shrieks that carry for kilometers. In 1983, an Australian zoologist in New Guinea watched one of these bats, wingspan 190 centimeters, catch a small bird in midair and tear it apart. Until that moment, all flying foxes were believed to be strictly fruit eaters. In 2009, a Manila resident tried to remove a flying fox from a net on his balcony. The animal latched onto his forearm, sank its teeth between his bones, and stayed there. It took 2 adult men to force the jaws open. These bats carry Ebola, Nipah virus, and multiple other hemorrhagic fever pathogens. Mortality rates in human outbreaks reach 90%. The bats never get sick. Their immune systems suppress the viruses without eliminating them, making every colony a living reservoir of diseases with no cure. In Java in the 1990s, Nipah virus spread from flying fox droppings falling into pig feed. 105 people died from brain inflammation within days of infection. The golden-crowned flying fox population has dropped 50% in 20 years. They are vanishing, but every virus they carry remains. If a dog-sized bat carrying a 90% lethal virus rattled you, the creature coming next screams like a child and has been alive in the same river for 80 years. Only 1% of people know the dark truth behind what we are about to show you next. If you want to be part of the few who actually know what's happening in the world, subscribe and leave a like right now. Done? Look at this. Number 10. Japanese giant salamander. In 2007, a farmer in Hiroshima Prefecture heard what sounded exactly like a child crying near a stream behind his house. He approached carefully in the dark. What he found pressed against the bank was a creature roughly 1.5 meters long, with a flat, wide head, tiny dark eyes, and skin the color of wet mud. It was not a child. The Japanese giant salamander, called Hanzaki by locals, is the largest amphibian on Earth. It reaches 180 centimeters in length and weighs up to 50 kilograms, roughly the same as an average adult human. The sound it produces to warn intruders from its territory genuinely mimics a human infant screaming. Hearing it in the dark, near water, without knowing what it is one of the most disturbing experiences people in rural Japan describe. This animal is almost completely blind. Instead of vision, thousands of sensory nodes embedded across its entire skin surface detect the faintest vibrations in the water. It can sense a single fish moving several meters away in total darkness and zero visibility. Its skin is coated in a thick antibacterial mucus that scientists are actively studying for antibiotic development, a living pharmaceutical lab that has been running unchanged since the age of dinosaurs. These salamanders live their entire lives in the same river, sometimes for 80 years. They hunt at night, crawling slowly along the riverbed. Despite their clumsy appearance, they strike with explosive, sudden speed the moment prey comes within range. Their jaws are lined with small, inward-facing teeth that make escape physically impossible once contact is made. By the early 20th century, hunting for their meat had nearly wiped them out. Japan declared them a national natural monument. Killing one today is a criminal offense punishable by prison. River pollution and dam construction are now finishing what the hunters started. The largest ever recorded was 188 centimeters long and 45 kilograms, estimated at 70 years old. They measured it and released it back into the river. But if a blind, screaming giant in a Japanese river unsettled you, what comes next lives in the deep ocean, holds the record for the largest eyes in the animal kingdom, and has never once been seen alive by human eyes until 2004.
Number 9. Giant squid. In 1925, a whaling ship off New Zealand hauled a sperm whale to the surface. The whale's body was covered in massive circular scars. When they cut it open, they found inside the stomach 2 claws as thick as a human leg, nearly 10 meters long, with hooks the size of a human fist embedded along their length. Humanity had just found its first hard physical evidence that Architeuthis, the giant squid, was real. These deep ocean monsters reach 18 meters in length and weigh up to 750 kilograms. Their eyes are the largest of any animal on Earth, 40 centimeters in diameter, roughly the size of a basketball. Those enormous eyes evolved specifically to detect the faintest bioluminescent flickers at 1,000 meters depth, a place with zero sunlight and crushing pressure, where these animals hunt. In 2004, Japanese researchers captured the first footage of a living Architeuthis. It took 900 separate dives before one appeared on camera. It attacked the bait with shocking speed, tentacles moving so fast the camera barely tracked them. It fought the hook for 4 hours before tearing off one of its own tentacles and vanishing into the darkness. The suction cups along its arms are lined with chitin hooks that penetrate flesh and lock in. Escape is physically prevented once contact is made. Circular scars up to 15 centimeters across have been found on sperm whale skin. Those scar sizes mean the squid that made them was larger than any specimen science has ever officially measured. Something bigger than anything we've caught is down there right now. Its beak is as hard as steel and can cut through a sperm whale's thick hide. 3 hearts pump blue blood. Blue because it uses copper instead of iron, a biological adaptation for surviving cold, oxygen-thin deep water. Some biologists rank Architeuthis among the most intelligent invertebrates on Earth. But if an 18-meter predator with steel-hard jaws hunting in total darkness is extreme, the fish coming next was so large that 6 men with a net couldn't drag it to shore, and it lived for over a century.
Number 8. Beluga sturgeon. In 1927, fishermen at the mouth of the Volga River caught something in their nets that 6 men working together could not drag to shore. They had to call for additional help and bring in a crane. The beluga sturgeon weighed 1,240 kilograms and measured 7.6 meters from nose to tail. Inside its body were 245 kilograms of caviar, a fortune by any standard of that era. The beluga sturgeon is the largest freshwater fish on Earth and one of the oldest living vertebrate lineages on the planet. These animals appeared 200 million years ago. They have barely changed since. Their average lifespan reaches 108 years, and critically, they grow continuously for their entire lives, meaning the oldest fish are always the largest. Every year a beluga sturgeon survives, it gets bigger. In 1953, the largest officially verified specimen was pulled from the Volga, 1,700 kilograms, 8 full meters long, containing 300 kilograms of eggs. Biologists estimated its age at over 100 years. Its mouth carries no teeth, but is lined with powerful bony plates that crush crab shells like cardboard. It feeds by generating a powerful inward suction current, inhaling prey whole like a biological vacuum. Entire seals, ducks, and other sturgeon have been found complete inside their stomachs. 1 kilogram of beluga caviar sells for $1,000. A single large female is worth more than a luxury car. That price made the animal a target. Illegal poachers collapsed the Caspian Sea population by 90% in the 1990s alone.
The truly giant specimens, century-old animals weighing over a ton, no longer exist in the wild. Farming operations cannot replace them. Beluga sturgeon don't reach sexual maturity until age 20, making commercial breeding economically unworkable at scale. An animal that survived 200 million years of geological history was effectively erased from the wild in a single human generation. If a disappeared giant with a century of history shook you, what comes next is very much still alive and kills with a single kick powerful enough to crush a lion's skull.
Number 7. African ostrich. In 2012, a farmer in South Africa entered a male ostrich's enclosure. The bird kicked him once in the stomach. A 10-centimeter claw tore through the abdominal muscle wall and punctured the body cavity. The man died from blood loss within 20 minutes. The African ostrich stands 2.75 meters tall and weighs 156 kilograms, the largest and most physically dangerous bird alive on Earth today. Its legs generate a strike force of 2,000 newtons. To understand that number, it is enough force to crush a lion's skull with a single blow. Each foot has 2 toes, and the inner toe carries a dagger-shaped claw that functions like a short blade on a piston. The bird can only strike forward, but it targets exactly the abdomen and chest of whatever is in front of it, which is mechanically one of the most lethal attack vectors in the animal kingdom. Ostriches regularly kill hyenas, jackals, and leopards that approach their nests. They run at 70 kilometers per hour with strides exceeding 5 meters and sustain 50 kilometers per hour for 30 continuous kilometers without stopping. No land animal of comparable size comes close to that combination of speed and endurance. Their eyes are the size of tennis balls, the largest of any land animal, detecting movement at 3.5 kilometers. Their brain weighs just 40 grams, less than a single eyeball. During mating season, males become categorically more aggressive. A breeding male defends a territory with a 2-kilometer radius, charging anything that moves: antelopes, zebras, and vehicles. Its warning call sounds like a lion's roar and carries a full kilometer. Lions in the wild actively avoid adult ostriches. Documented cases show entire pride groups surrounding a single ostrich without any individual lion willing to initiate the attack. The cost of being wrong is too high. A single ostrich chick reaches 100 kilograms by its first birthday and can kill a dog with one strike. If a bird that outruns horses and kills lions left you stunned, what comes next is ancient beyond comprehension, and when it died on a riverbank in Japan, its tentacles measured 40 meters.
Number 6. Cyanea capillata. No brain, no heart, no blood, no muscles capable of real directional movement, 95% water, and yet this animal has been on Earth for 600 million years, surviving every mass extinction event, outlasting the dinosaurs, outlasting entire geological periods, because its design is so lethally simple that evolution never needed to improve it. The lion's mane jellyfish, Cyanea capillata, reaches bell diameters exceeding 2 meters and trails tentacles stretching 40 meters behind it. Those tentacles are divided into 8 independent clusters, each functioning as its own system. If you cut a Cyanea into pieces, each piece continues functioning independently. The tentacles carry millions of microscopic stinging cells, each loaded with a venom harpoon. A single physical contact fires thousands of these harpoons simultaneously in a chain reaction faster than a human nerve signal can travel. The venom causes immediate, severe burning pain, extensive skin lesions, and in cases of massive exposure, cardiac disruption. Documented cases confirm people being stung by Cyanea specimens that were already dead and washed ashore. The stinging cells stay active for days after the animal dies. Divers who have encountered Cyanea in open water describe total disorientation, tentacles in every direction, impossible to track all of them simultaneously, burning hits from strands that were never visible. In 1870, fishermen off Massachusetts pulled one from their nets with a bell over 2 meters wide. In 2009, a dead specimen beached in Japan measured 40 meters from bell to tentacle tip. Local residents reported seeing larger animals still moving in the water. Those reports remain unconfirmed. What does confirmed mean when the animal has no brain and no decision-making capacity and has been killing things in the ocean since before complex animal life existed on land? If a brainless 40-meter killing net drifting through the Arctic Ocean unsettled you, what comes next walks through rivers in Asia, weighs more than a car, and was nearly hunted to extinction for its eggs alone?
Number 5. Japanese spider crab. Picture the largest spider you have ever seen. Now scale it up to the size of a small car. The Japanese spider crab lives off the coast of Japan at depths reaching 600 meters, deeper than the height of 2 Eiffel Towers stacked, and its legs span 3.5 meters from tip to tip. If one stood in your living room, its claws would touch opposite walls simultaneously.
Its shell alone reaches 40 centimeters across, and its body weighs up to 19 kilograms, packed inside armor hard enough to deflect physical impacts that would destroy most other marine animals. What makes this creature genuinely disturbing beyond its size is its age. These animals live for a full century on the ocean floor, slowly growing, slowly crawling through the dark. The ones we have caught and measured may be nowhere near the largest individuals alive right now. We have explored roughly 20% of the ocean floor. The record holders could be down there at 600 meters, in total darkness, and we would have no way of knowing. Their claws manipulate objects with surprising precision, cracking open shellfish, handling food with a delicacy that seems impossible for something this massive. Fishermen near Sagami Bay have pulled these animals into their boats for centuries, and experienced fishermen who have handled thousands of sea creatures consistently describe the Japanese spider crab as something that triggers a different, deeper discomfort. There is something wrong feeling about a crab that looks directly at you with eyes positioned at the end of stalks, whose legs extend beyond the sides of the boat in every direction, and which is still alive and moving. Local fishermen have reported specimens with leg spans approaching 4 meters. Those reports have not been officially confirmed. If a century-old armored giant crawling the ocean floor in total darkness was striking, the animal coming next was so large that it crashed the stock market of an entire industry when it was discovered to be real.
Number 4. Green anaconda. In 1954, a geological survey team in Venezuela found a snake lying across a river. 6 men could not lift it. When they killed it and measured the body, it was 11 meters and 43 centimeters long and weighed 227 kilograms. That is the official scientific record. Indigenous communities along the Amazon consistently and specifically report seeing individual anacondas reaching 15 meters. None has been officially verified. The green anaconda is the heaviest snake on Earth. Its body at its widest point measures 90 centimeters in circumference, thicker than a rain barrel. Its musculature generates enough compressive force to suffocate an adult jaguar in under 5 minutes. The mechanics are precise. It coils around prey and tightens incrementally after every single exhale, closing the available chest space so the lungs cannot re-expand. Death comes not from broken bones, but from hypoxia and cardiac arrest caused by circulatory failure. In 2008, Brazilian biologists caught a female anaconda 9 meters long. Her body carried the bite scars of at least 3 separate jaguars. She had survived every attack and continued hunting. Inside her stomach were the complete remains of a capybara, a rodent weighing 60 kilograms, swallowed entirely 1 week earlier. Her jaw ligaments are elastic enough to stretch her mouth opening around prey 3 times the diameter of her head. In 1997, a villager on the Orinoco River disappeared while fishing. 3 days later, an anaconda with a massive central swelling was found nearby. When it was opened, the man's remains were inside. Cases like this are rare, but are documented in multiple verified instances. A 9-meter anaconda on land appears slow and awkward. In water, it moves with speed and fluidity that people who have witnessed it describe as genuinely frightening. A strike from its tail alone can knock a standing adult off their feet. If a snake that swallows humans whole is extreme, what comes next has been alive for 200 million years, was hunted to near extinction for its eggs, and the last truly giant specimen was seen alive over 30 years ago.
Number 3. Woolly mammoth. The largest African elephant ever recorded, a male shot in Angola in 1955, weighed 12.5 tons and stood 4 meters at the shoulder. He was the largest land animal alive at the time of his death. He would have been visibly smaller standing next to a woolly mammoth. In 2007, a perfectly preserved mammoth skeleton emerged from Siberian permafrost. The measurements were staggering: 4.7 meters at the shoulder, taller than a double-decker bus, with an estimated living weight of 15 tons. Its tusks were 5 meters long. Each tusk weighed 120 kilograms, more than an average adult human just for one tusk. These animals required approximately 400 kilograms of grass, branches, and bark every single day. Their molars, each the size of a brick, ground down the toughest available plant material, and when a set wore out completely, a new set grew in behind it. A mammoth burned through 6 complete sets of teeth across its lifetime. Their subcutaneous fat layer reached 10 centimeters thick. Over that grew fur up to 1 meter long. Their ears were 10 times smaller than a modern African elephant's, because large ears in Arctic conditions would have caused fatal frostbite. The architecture of their entire body was engineered by evolution for sustained survival in conditions that would kill most large animals within days. In 1993, dwarf mammoth remains were found on Wrangel Island, dated to just 3,700 years ago. When the ancient Egyptians were completing the construction of the pyramids, mammoths were still alive on Arctic islands.
Island isolation had reduced them to 2 meters tall and roughly 2 tons, a compressed, miniaturized version of their mainland ancestors, surviving in isolation until they simply ran out of space. Modern elephants recognize themselves in mirrors, coordinate complex group decisions, and transmit cultural knowledge, migration routes, water sources, dangerous plants, across generations through matrilineal memory. Scale that intelligence into a 15-ton frame armored in a meter of fur, and you begin to understand what the Ice Age actually looked like from the ground. If a 15-ton Ice Age giant is hard to process, the creature ranked
Number 2. Sperm whale. The evidence arrived in a dead animal in 1925, 10-meter tentacle arms with fist-sized hooks inside a sperm whale's stomach, circular scars the diameter of dinner plates across the whale's exterior skin. The giant squid had attacked the sperm whale and lost. But the sperm whale is the real subject of that encounter, and it is one of the most extreme animals ever to exist on this planet. Male sperm whales reach 20 meters in length and weigh up to 80 tons, approximately the combined weight of 50 average cars. Their heads constitute 1/3 of total body length and contain the largest brain of any animal ever recorded, up to 9 kilograms. That brain processes echolocation clicks so acoustically powerful they can physically stun or kill prey at close range, a biological sonar weapon. The sperm whale produces the loudest biological sound on Earth, clicks reaching 230 decibels. A jet engine at close range produces roughly 140 decibels. These clicks travel through water, reflect off object, and return with enough resolution for the whale to construct a full 3-dimensional acoustic image of its environment in absolute darkness at depths exceeding 3,000 meters. 3 kilometers straight down, in pressure that would collapse a submarine, hunting giant squid with sound. It holds its breath for up to 90 minutes per dive. Its muscle tissue stores oxygen so efficiently that its blood darkens visibly during a deep dive as hemoglobin unloads. Every single giant squid specimen that has ever come to science arrived inside the stomach of a sperm whale. The scars on whale skin tell a story of deep ocean battles, extended, savage, and occasionally won by the squid. The sperm whale spermaceti organ, the massive oil-filled cavity in its forehead, was what made it the primary target of global commercial whaling for 2 centuries. An estimated 360,000 sperm whales were killed in the 20th century alone. Populations collapsed by over 70%. They are recovering now, slowly, but the scale of what was taken is almost impossible to fully calculate. If an 80-ton acoustic predator hunting in the deepest ocean left you speechless,
If you thought this was terrifying, you are not ready for what they found in the video on your screen. Click it right now. The truth is worse than you think.